Hey everybody, how's it going? Let me switch over here. Welcome to the live, and it is a Monday and live podcast. If you're new here and this is your first time hanging out, we do the podcast live on Mondays. This is the end of our weekend of hangouts. We and start the new week up today. Thanks for those in the chat that have been hanging out with me while I got going here. It seems that the internet in where I'm at decides at 4 o'clock it doesn't want to cooperate. So I had to restart everything, reconnect, get everything back ready. I've got a lot of stuff going on here that you can't see, but you'll be seeing in just a little bit. Let's check the chat. I'll check it on my phone here. I got the phone hooked up too. Oh, we got everybody's in here today. That's great. We got Chris, Coke's here, Josh is here, Evan's here, David. Great to see you, David. Just going through here pretty quickly. Dino's here. Kevin is here. And let's see here. Haley, glad you could make it. Thank you, Evan. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about our challenge that we've got together. I've got a bunch of things prepared for it. We have Chris sent in some clips. Coke sent in some clips. Unfortunately, Kevin's, which were awesome, which are really good. They had a background track on it that I can't use today. But I'm going to play a little bit in the style that Kevin was. I'm going to talk about one of the licks that he sent in and the ideas that he had about that a little bit later on. So I'm going to get the podcast ready here. We'll go ahead and get started up front, and then we'll take some breaks throughout the podcast and check the chat, see how everybody's doing. And here we go. Okay, so new challenge day. This is going to be fun. Oh, hit record. Remember, Josh? Got to hit record. Okay, record on there. And let's see, let's record here as well. Okay, so I'm recording. Let me get the chat back up here. All right. Okay, everything's set. New cart machine we're working with today too. That way we can play our clips as well. So let's go ahead and get started. New challenge day. It's my first lick building challenge. Join us as we get creative and we see what awesome ideas we can make up, and with a certain set of notes. So stay tuned. I'm going to redo that one. That one didn't do it. Okay, here we go. One more time. New challenge day. It's my first lick building challenge. Join us as we get creative and we see what awesome ideas we can make up with just a certain set of notes. So stay tuned. Better. Hello and welcome, friends, to episode 125 of the Play Guitar Podcast. I'm Lee, and this is the podcast that's determined to make you a better guitar player. If you're just starting out, you've been playing for years, this is the show that will help you become the guitarist that you've always wanted to be. It's a Monday. It definitely is a Monday. Little background here before we get started. Since the beginning of this pandemic that we're all dealing with, we've been pulling together here in the community. We've regular hangouts. We have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Different themes as we go throughout the weekend, but they're all on the Play Guitar Academy YouTube channel. It's all at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, EDT at this point. It's been fantastic. It started out as a way to deal with how things are going, the current situation, and not get overwhelmed by it. When I get overwhelmed, I always feel better if I have some sort of a project to work on. It's something positive that I can focus on. A distraction that's the purpose is to provide good results. How can we get through this? And how can we be better than we were before on the other side? So we get together on YouTube, we share our stories, we talk, and we play a lot of guitar. And what started out as an experiment, it's becoming something that I really look forward to. And one of the things that's come up is to have some sort of a challenge. And big thanks to Chris Ward for the idea for the Lick Building Challenge. And we're running with that this week. And we've already kind of started it, but we thought we got to work over the past few days. We worked it all out. It's been very valuable. And I wanted to bring this as an opportunity to all the listeners for the podcast as well. So we're going to get started today. We're going to talk a little bit about what the challenge is. When I was in college, we had some songwriting classes, some theory classes, songwriting classes, and we talked about note clusters. And I wasn't a composition major, I was a performance major, but I was friends with a lot of them, and they would talk about creating songs all from a group of notes. And sometimes it would be a pentatonic. It'd be 5 notes. It could be 4. It could be a lot of, and they don't have to all be in the same key. It was just a group of notes. They could be dissonant and they could be consonant, but that was the limit, either to the melody or the chord structures. And the challenge was to make up a song around those, or at least to have those be the theme of the song. So I thought, why wouldn't we take an idea like that and bring it to the group here and incorporate that into Chris's idea of a Lick Building Challenge? So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to put on the screen right now our note cluster, our group of notes that we'll be using. This is going up and going back down. That's what we're seeing here. So we have 16, which is a B note on the B string, to a C note, which is 17 on the B string. And then we have 15, which is D, 17, which is E, 19, which is F sharp. And then we have 15, 17, 19 again on the high E string, which is G, A, and B. And so I picked this pretty quickly as we were talking. I picked this, and the reasons I picked this was it's a very common run in hard rock music. You see it in a lot of different songs, and from all different styles, from like shred music as you're going in a minor sound through a bunch of chords, or even something like Eric Johnson. He uses this a lot as well. So I thought that this would be a lot of fun for us to put our creative mind to the test and show off a little bit, see what we could come up with. And so we put that out there yesterday in our hangout yesterday, and we have a few come in. I said, hey, if anybody wants to put one out there, go ahead and send it to me and I'll put it up on the show. And we had a few coming up today. So I'm going to play a few ideas of mine for this, and I'm going to show a few ideas that some people had sent in. Those are the notes. What are those notes? Basically, we have the B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. If you are really good with keys, you notice that F sharp should tell you something right there. That means we're in a G major scale. G major all the way. That's basically the note straight from a G major scale. How I use it in the rock songs is not in G. It's in the relative minor to that, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So we're going to use those notes for our licks, and that's the rules. After that, there's no rules. You can play them in any key. You can play them over any key that you want. You can play the notes in any order. You don't have to play all the notes. You can play some of the notes, or you can play all of them, however you want to do that. You can play over a loop. You can play over a background track. You could just play solo. Any way that you would like to do that. And it's going to be, let's see here. I've got some links for you here. I have the PDF of our note choices here and some ways that you might be able to get some ideas to come up with some really cool licks for those. And this is over at playguitaracademy.com/lick building challenge. So you can go over there, sign up, and download this worksheet. And now if you're already signed up and get emails from me, just take a look on Wednesday. I'll be sending out an email which will have the link for you in that right there. You don't even have to re-sign it up. I'll send it right to you there. And like we did here, where a few players sent in a recording, and it could be a video recording, it could be just an MP3 recording from your phone, or you could do it up and do a big background track, and however you want to do it. If you want to share in what you come up with, we had thought about different ways of doing that, and having everyone send in an email. The more I thought about it last night, that's going to be too much for my email to handle, and so what we're going to do is we're going to post them in our Facebook group. And so we have the Play Guitar Facebook group, which a lot of the people here. Oh, we've got a freeze. Let's see here. Just checking. Let me check the YouTube. Okay, I'm back now. Great. So just in case you missed some of that, we have you can download your worksheet at playguitaracademy.com/lick building challenge, and we're going to be uploading these to the Facebook group. So if anybody who wants to participate and share the licks that they've come up with using these notes, just head on over to playguitargroup.com. That'll take you straight to our Facebook group, and you can sign up there. There's a few questions that they ask that when you come in, and you can just put your name in there and say Lick Building Challenge if you want. We'll let you write in, and you can just upload these as a post. You can do it as an audio or video file using your phone, whatever the easiest way for you to upload these, I would suggest. We just need ideas. That's all. So that's what the challenge is. That's a little bit about how the challenge got started, and really excited about this. And those are some links for you to get involved if you like to get involved. Okay, I'm going to take a quick look at the chat. Make sure everything's back going before we keep going. All right. So I'm looking back just a little bit. Eric's here. Hey, Eric. Great to see you. So we have Eric. Josh was reminding me to hit record. I did. And Kevin says stupid copyrights. That's okay, man. The ideas have come across, and I don't remember exactly what you played, but I have an idea. I'm going to put that about. Okay, so let's see here. David says, I think I sent links to the wrong email. Went to the Academy app email. Yeah, I didn't get those, David, in time, but resend them to my regular email, lee@playguitaracademy.com, and then we'll get them for the next one. Okay. Let's see here. So it froze for a little bit, came back. YouTube's saying I have an excellent connection now. So, okay. And Evan says I might try and come up with more licks and post them to Facebook. Okay, so I'm showing on my end that everything's going through, and I'm getting it on my phone. So I'm going to assume the internet is going to work for us for this next section. It's great to see everybody here, man. There's Mark too. Good to see you, Mark. Okay, so let's get into some examples for me. All right. Let me get this. This doesn't seem to work. There we go. All right. Okay, part 2. Let's do some licks. Let's take these notes and try and make something out of them. I'm just going to do some easy loops. I didn't want to get too fancy with this because I didn't want everyone to think that they had to get really fancy and make big background tracks and stuff like that. I'm just going to use some loops. So the first loop that lick that I'm going to create here on the spot is going to be over a G major type background. There we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so we got our loop. That's a G to C, G to D. Can't get any more basic than that. Here they are, just sounding very major scale like, okay? So let's take advantage of that. Let's do some double stops. Okay, so I took the classic Brown Eye Girl sound, double stops there, and here's where they fit. Because our notes, we have 16, 17, and then 15, 17, 19. The one that outlines the G major chord, where you have your third and your root on the G string, and then the high E string, are right there. One's at the high string, 15th fret, the G string, 16th fret. Now we're going to go up to the next two 17th frets, one on the G string, one on the high E, and then two 19th frets, both on the G and the high E. Okay, so that is right there in the pattern. And I use that to do kind of little major type bends there as well too. So that's one whole style. Okay, the next thing we're going to notice is, because this is used typically in a hard rock setting, playing fast, I'm going to do a little bit of that, and that would be in the key of E minor. So I'm just going to do E minor to G to A and see what we get from that. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so let's see here. Why people love to play this over the minor? Because they're very symmetrical here with the high E and the B string. Let's see here. I'm gonna come up with a lick right now. So I'm gonna go more blues with this lick. I'm kind of still formulating as we're talking. The 17th fret on the high E string is kind of a bluesy rock bend note. Yeah, I'll just do that. Just that simple. So a bend, ending on the tonic, and then we're gonna just go quickly from those two strings that are very symmetrical right there. So just an easy lick like that. So now we've got two. We've got kind of a something based. I didn't know that was going to happen. A Brown Eyed Girl type double stops thing, and then a quick heavy style. But let's talk about getting away from just regular major and relative minor type uses for this. Let's do a little bit of modes, okay? So let's take the very first note. That's at the 16th fret. We have a B. Now this set of notes sits nicely in the key of G because it has the F sharp. Well, what's the note in B in the key of G? So we're going to G, A, B. That's the third. Now, the chord that's built off of that in the key of G is a B minor. What would just happen if we changed everything to use the B minor? So let's make that be our tonal center, B minor. What's that going to do to it? So if we played from the key of in the key of G, but starting at B and ending on B. It's a very different sound. This is called the Phrygian mode. Very distinctive sound. So what if we came up with some chords just from the key of G, but that kind of accentuate that Phrygian sound? So I'm going to do a B minor to D minor, then to G, and then to C. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, now I'm going to take my notes so that kind of pedal tone I'll pedal tone off of the high G string. I'm going to make it up like that. That D minor I don't like. I don't think that's the right chord there. I'm going to start this one over. What's the it should be a D chord, not a D minor chord. Okay, so we're going to do this again. B minor. That's better. Yeah, it was clashing. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Two. One more time. Okay, here we go. Ready. Okay, I got it now. Okay, so I used a playing off of a pedal tone, going from the D between the B and the C, and then also another pedal tone, but this time lower on our new tonal center, which is B, and worked a lick back from that. Okay, so Eric liked the change from the B minor to D minor. Yeah, it was awesome. It really sounded good. But the problem was that the notes we picked didn't. That D minor needed an F note in it, so I would have had to change. These are the cool things about when you restrict yourself to a certain tone set. When you go to that, when I went to that F, to the D minor that has an F note in it, but in my tonal choices I had, there was an F sharp. It was clashing, so that's why I stopped and changed that to an F sharp. Brought that, changed it to a D major chord, which brought that F up to an F sharp, which would fit all the rest of the tones. But yeah, if I was just writing a song and didn't have the limitation of those notes, I would have changed that F sharp to an F and kept that D minor because it's a really neat sound. Okay. All right. So those are mine. Those are my examples there. Just coming up with something off the top of my head, starting, if I was going to keep doing it, I work a little bit harder on those, get them a little bit more where I'd like them. But for our examples, that I think that does the job. You can see 3 completely different styles, some very different note choices and different. I use double stops. I use pedal tones. I use bends. I use a lot of different things to get different emotions from the same exact notes with different backgrounds. Okay, so I'm going to take another small break, check the chat, and then we're going to see some of the listener listen some of the listener examples we have here. So let me go back over to the chat real quick. All right, so let's see. Since the freeze, Eric is trying to get back on the guitar this week. Wish me luck. Yeah, man, get back on the guitar. It's good to see you. We're happy to have you back, man. It's good to see you. Josh says, just so you know, Lee, I forgot to hit record on my first video to send you Saturday. But hey, the second take, I got it. Yeah. We're both forgetting to hit record. Coke says, just join the Facebook group. Grudgingly uses Facebook once a year. I don't use Facebook at all other than the Facebook group. In fact, the business page for the Academy, I just automatically put a post up there. But Facebook, for me, is the group. That's the whole reason I'm on Facebook right now. uh, okay. I'm going past that. Easy. Let's say simple. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. And Eric was talking about the change from B minor to D minor. And what key mode fits that transition from B minor to D minor? I liked it a lot. Yeah, it's just that F, just changing that F sharp to an F. So I guess it would temporarily, it would go from a tonal center of like the G to a tonal center of the C. Yeah, so it was playing a D minor like it was the 2 chord in the key of C. Evan says, it was fun playing around with a small set of notes to see what I could come up with. It was a great exercise. Awesome. That's great, Evan. I look forward to hearing your stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to listen to Chris's examples. We're going to listen to Coke's example. And then I'm going to talk about the ones Kevin sent in too. Those are the ones that I received it by email. And if anyone else has some, if you send it to the wrong email, or just send them to me again, and we'll save them for next week as well. Okay, now I'm buffering again. I'm going to wait just a second. Okay, looks like we're done buffering there. So let's get into listener examples. Okay, here we go. Part 3, listener examples. Let's hear what some of our Hangout participants came up with there. So these are 2 really good examples. These are both from Chris Ward. Let's go ahead and take a listen to Chris's first example. Very cool. So with Chris's example here, so we're in an E rock type setting. And we're following a pedal tone type section using the E as the note that you're going back and forth with. And ending on that half step from C to B. I thought it was really effective. I thought it was really nice. Well, let's take a listen to Chris's second one. That was very cool too. Like it sounds to me like a Santana style lead, which gives a certain idea. But then you come into the fingerstyle chords. So E minor to D to C. Pretty neat, man. I like that. I like that a lot. And I'm not. I know that Chris said in the chat that sometimes he'll write the melody first and then put the chords in later. I'm very curious if he did that with this one as well. Very neat stuff. So think of all the different, just up to this point, all the different sounds that we've had, just from this group of notes here. Different backgrounds, different keys. Let's check out Coke's lick. This is going to be cool. Okay, so Coke use, and I've just noticed he said in the chat, he says, I need a looper. But I think that this came off really, really nice without having one. With you holding down the background. So we've got kind of a G to a C, kind of a Stonesy kind of G to C kind of sound there, finger style, with a really nice descending line there. Very cool, man. Lots of different sounds here. And that was the whole point, to just kind of get out of the rut of just thinking that a typical lick is just one thing. We're taking a typical lick, which is what I picked, which is a typical heavy metal hard rock lick, and getting a ton of different sounds out of it. This is a lot of fun, man. That was good. Good job, Coke. That was great. Okay, so the next one we want to talk about, and these are Kevin's. He had a background track. One was kind of a Latin sound. It was an E minor Latin sound, and it ended with a on the like a if you like you raise the 5 chord for a minute, and then ended up on the 5 chord, which in the key of E minor is a C7 to a B7, which works really nicely with our very first notes that we're playing on the G string, the B and the C, right there. So from what I remember, he was playing. Started off both of his licks with this very strong sound of going from the B on the G string on the 16th fret to the E on the B string on the 17th fret, and then to the high G on the E string at the 15th fret. Let's see here. I'm gonna just jam over that sound a little bit here. So that's not exactly the background track he used, but very neat. I'll let it go through one time. So even though we couldn't use it because of the background track, I really wanted to bring in that kind of a Latin sound too, where you're outlining. It's almost like Thrill Is Gone too. They use that they go up a half step above the 5 chord, then resolve it, and then go back to 1. And with Kevin's going from the B to the E. Right there's a very strong way to start that lick off. So it was very cool, man. Very cool. Thank you for submitting that too. Okay, So let's see here. I'm going to, those are our listener examples for today. If you would like to hang out with us, you can do so each weekend here, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And if you would like to join in, please head on over to playguitaracademy.com/lick building challenge. That's where you can get your worksheet to get the notes to use for the lick building challenge. And then right after that, head over to playguitargroup.com and join in. And that's the place we can upload all these, check them out. We can, say how cool they are, or, help anybody if anybody has any problems working on these. Remember, they don't have to be incredibly elaborate, just some small ideas using your phone. You maybe do a quick video or just an audio thing, put them on up there in the Facebook group, and we'll talk a little bit about these again next week in the next episode. Okay, so I'm going to call it. That's a wrap. Thank you for joining me today for the Play Guitar Podcast. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to the show in Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast player. Also, I really appreciate it if you could leave a review for the show. If you're just starting or you're new to guitar, head on over to starthereguitar.com and check out my premium 11-week beginner's course that will give you the foundation you need to move forward correctly on the guitar. Follow me on all of my different social media pages. Links to them are at playguitaracademy.com. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next episode. Okay, we did it. We got through that. And it seems to be hailing outside. Goodness gracious. Whatever. All right, let's go check the chat here. Let's see how everybody is. Make sure everything did it cut out again after that one time. I think the problem's going on is we have some really bad weather coming through. That may be some of our connection problem. So, okay, so let's go back here a little bit. Let's see here. Kevin says metal, right? And everybody's saying nice job to Chris. And Chris did. He did do the chords later for both of them. Well, that was great. That was pretty cool. So nice job for everybody who participated. Coke says he's got me doubting my triads now. Did I play a C chord? I don't know. That's what I heard. You could have done something different. I know it was kind of a G thing going. I thought it was a G going back and forth to G to C. Coke says thanks everybody. And Chris says, so highlighting that E minor triad to open sounds good and nice rhythm section. That one's going in the looper very soon. Cool. And Josh says, hang out here on YouTube Live. That's right. Killer sounds, guys. And here's Eric. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for hanging out, Eric. It's good to see you. We hadn't seen you in a while. It's great. We got some more hanger-outers here. And David said it cut out twice for him. Well, hopefully, I'm recording this on this end, so it should be good for the podcast as we go out. Kept going for Chris. That's good. And Josh says it buffered once for me. It was pretty sound the rest of the way through. Thank you guys for letting me know that. I appreciate that. Dina was okay for Dina. Is that rain? Yeah. You hear that? I can't even see outside. It's just pouring. Cut out early on part one, I think. Yeah, just cut that once for me too. Okay, great. So we got a podcast out of this. That's awesome, and we got to listen to some chats. I have a new sound board here that I was trying out today, so I can get to all the old stuff that we haven't listened to in a long time. The slide stuff and country stuff, so I can pull all those things up. I can add a lot of different sounds in there too. So anyway, I can actually do that. I should have done the outro. I had the music for it. I could have done that. Hey Mark, he said he finally got to catch the show again. That's awesome. Thank you, Mark. It's great to see you here, man. And Josh says, yeah, hope it rains so I don't have to mow. Lots of laughs. Yeah, it is pouring out there. Well, guys, I'm going to use this outro music to end end the live stream today. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I'm going to be working more on the Academy this week, and I'll be back on Friday. And look forward to seeing everybody. And okay, there's your outro. And look forward to seeing everybody on Friday. If you guys have any problems with anything, if you have any questions, if you need any help with anything. Chris says Making the Band. Yeah, I can go grab those old songs too. That'd be a good thing to do. I can go grab all the old Making the Band songs. Maybe we can work on those over the weekend. Yeah, bring some stuff back. Awesome. This is working out good. I'm glad it worked out. Now all I have to do is get this internet figured out. Maybe the drivers for my wireless things. So yeah, I do have those. I have the I have on my other laptop, I have all the old Making the Band stuff. So I was listening to some of those today. So we could do some of that. I was thinking, and the guitar news, thinking maybe doing YouTube. You know how we're having Guitar Talk on Saturdays, maybe turning Friday or Sunday into a guitar news show. I don't know. Tell me, guys. Let me know what you think about that, guys. And I appreciate anybody who has a minute to like this stream. That's been helping a lot. Josh says, yeah, the good old days. Good stuff. Yeah, I was green coming into this. I thought, man, I'm going to have like 15 different sections to the podcast. And then that lasted for a couple of months and wore me down. But maybe separating it out, maybe having some different shows for those. Maybe even put them up as a podcast too. I know that the new stuff, when I got my press pass for NAMM last year, I wasn't able to go, but I get a lot of press releases from different guitar manufacturing companies and all of those things. So maybe it might be something that we might pursue. And Chris says, yep, sounds like an idea. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. We'll talk about it next week. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shut down because I'm seeing lightning over there. So I'm going to get all the computers and everything unplugged just in case. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. And this was a lot of fun. And it was always more fun for me when I get to include some of you guys' participation in there. It makes it really interesting for me. So thanks to Kevin and Coke and Chris and everybody else who sent them in that I didn't get them for. We'll get to them on the next one. Okay? Check a few more of these out. Evan says, it's always been a well thought out and put together podcast, though. I've always got a lot from it. Thank you, Evan. I appreciate that. And Josh says, that would be cool. I think news would be a cool people could add in too. Yeah, I think it would be a neat one. Josh says, head to the basement. I got no basement to go to. And Chris says you could hunt out some guitar news stuff too. Okay. All right, everybody. We're at 5. Everyone have a great week. Stay safe. Do me a favor and don't go out there and take too many chances right now. Hang back at the house, play some guitar with me. Okay? All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you on Friday.